Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Groovy Guy here. It's good to be back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I haven't been feeling well, and in my previous video, I did promise that my next video review would be either the clones or Power of the Primes Leader Optimus Prime. Now, I haven't been able to source Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime anywhere at all, and so I was able to get these guys shipped from another corner of the world before my corner of the world local retail has even gotten Power of the Primes Optimus Prime at all. So shame on you, Hasbro. So anyway, here we have Wingspan, Pounce, Fastlane, and Cloudraker. These are all the Legends 2 sets. I haven't bought two box sets and pieced the others together. No, these are the Legends sets, LG 58 and 61, I believe. The Titan Masters that you can see, they're not part of the set. They're just there to display how each of the alternate modes can be used as something of a transport. So here is Wingspan. I think this was Shuffler. So they just sit on top. And you got a nice little eagle. They do pretty good jobs of being, their alternate modes, but yeah, it's just obvious that it's a sort of the robot mode just in a precarious predicament. Yeah. So they just sit on top there. Put them off to the side. Fastlane and Cloudraker have a bit of a difference to them. In their seating, I mean. You take the Titan Master or Power Master, whatever you may have sitting in there. The tabs go into the hole there, and you close the flap, and that's him in his own alt mode. So it looks pretty cool. These guys were never really complex toys. They were just always two identical robot modes with some differences in order to incorporate their very different alternate modes. So there we go. Cloudraker also does have a separate landing fin, which can go up and go down. So they're all very, very impressive toys. One thing about the Autobot clones, though, is they both have very visible head syndrome. Ta-da! So I hope he's not afraid of heights. I also hope he goes into focus at some point. There we go. And there we go. Also an interesting note is, which one is it? Fastlane. His robot mode is literally just the car standing up, but he's got the you can see here, he's got the sort of leg parts that make it look like the legs can be folded out, which I think is a really nice touch. It makes them look even more similar to each other. Wingspan is actually really impressive in his Falcon mode. I just like I like the wingspan. It's got some really nice colors on him. He's got the Wingspan logo and the Decepticon logo. These two, yeah, there's his head, but you can't actually see his face because it's turned around. I think Pounce might have, oh no, Pounce is the same. He's still got a visible head but no visible face. So yeah, they're all pretty cool figures by themselves. They make a very impressive little set. I think we're going to have a break and we'll be right back with Robot... Oh, actually, hang on. Couple of comparisons for their alternate modes. Here is Power of the Prime's Beachcomber. So there's sort of a Legends scale, if you will. Mind you, Beachcomber is quite a large vehicle for Legends. How about Windcharger? Yeah, Windcharger and Fastlane side by side. So yeah, they're a pretty they're an okay Legends scale-ish kind of figure. Yeah, so we're going to have a break and we'll be right back with their robot modes. Please stay tuned and we'll be right back now with their robot modes. And here are their robot modes. They look pretty cool. Again, they actually do look like clones of each other, which is what they're meant to be. We got Pounce, Wingspan, Fastlane, and Cloud Raker. I should have those two the other way around, but never mind. One thing I would like to mention though with the Decepticon clones is when you transform them into robot mode, I don't know how well this is going to show. Come on. I'll get my hand out of the way. Alright. There we go. If we have a look at this section here, the sort of the elbow joint, when you do get them into their robot modes, you want to make sure you've got the sort of the ridged section facing out, and you got the smooth section with like a little divot in it facing this way. Because if you do have it with the ribbed section facing this way, you're gonna have sort of the the buff flexing sort of pose, and you won't get as much posability, and you might be putting stress onto this little joint. It is tricky to do because this rotates and that's on a ball joint, so it's a bit tricky to maneuver. You sort of got to get your hand in there and fiddle about with it. But once you get it done, you end up with some awesome looking robots. That's all the Puma mode folded up, tails goes up. Oh, one thing you will notice, and I didn't mention in the vehicle modes, is these guys do not have individual guns, which I'm okay with because I think in the 1 second you saw them in the American cartoon they did have guns, but in the Headmasters cartoon I don't believe they had guns. I think they're always just portrayed as their own little robots. Actually they were portrayed, all four of them were friends, and then they split up to, these two went that way, those two went this way. They each set up to explore the galaxy, and then when they rejoined each other, the Decepticon clones revealed they were Decepticons and betrayed the Autobots clones, or just attacked them or something. So these guys still want to be friends, but those guys, they're in for the glory of the Decepticon Empire. So there's Pounce, Wingspan, Fastlane, and Cloud Raker. How about some comparisons, hey? Now I'm going to move these guys forward a bit. We're still in shot, yes we are. Here are the G1 renditions of themselves. I didn't show these guys as a comparison in alternate mode because last time I transformed these guys was about a decade ago, and their joints were really, really stiff. So I was just concerned that if I tried transforming them this time I might split the plastic, and I didn't want to do that. So the new renditions are a bit smaller, but the old ones come with guns, and they do have rub symbols, one there, one there. See if I can get that to proc. Not really. That's the Wingspan heat rub signature. But yeah, they do have pretty good lookalikes on the newer figures. Speaking of newer figures, how about some comparisons with some newer figures, eh? Oh crap, Nintendo's probably going to claim the video now because I did a little bit of the Mario theme. Here is Titans Returns Bumblebee. So they are a Scout. I keep getting confused. Is this Scout or Legends? I think it's Legends. Legends size figures. Here's a comparison with a deluxe. So yeah, definitely legend scale. So yeah, that's the end of the video review. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it informative. Actually, one other thing I did want to cover is if you do get the Decepticlone pack, you will get this little piece of paper. That's just covering a printing error in their instructions. Covering up printing error. If I can get these things folded correctly. The printing error is the fact that for Wingspan, you go through all the modes and then you end up with a pounce robot, sorry. You end up with pounce. So yeah, that's just covering the error. See, look, there's pounce. Do all the transformations and you end up with a Wingspan robot. So yeah, that's just a little error saying that picture's meant to be there and that picture's meant to be there. So yeah, that's about all for the video review. I do recommend picking them up if you are a die-hard G1 fan. If you do have the G1 toys, maybe consider getting these guys as more of a play toy. You know, you can play with these guys, and if you break them, you can get a replacement pretty cheap. I'm going to be looking on Shapeways just to see if anyone does make weapons for these guys. The only thing is they don't really have anywhere to put them in alternate modes, except maybe, no, the Decepticon clones keep their fists out all the time, but the Autobot clones, they might be able to have something in there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Again, apologies for the large gap between videos, but I've had some things going on. Next time, actually, I won't make a promise for what happens in the next video, because last time I made a promise, I promised these guys are Optimus Prime, and that was another reason why there was such a long gap. So I'm going to try and do like a two for one video review with Beachcomber or Wind Charger. So thank you again for watching, and you'll see me next time. Bye now.